see it in Shar Gigulim, hopefully. Tov. Shar Gigulim, I believe we're sure 21. We are talking today, we're continuing, we're in Daf Ayin Vav in our books, page 76. We're smack in the middle of Hagdama Dal, so we're going to learn pretty interesting stuff today. Okay? It says over here, we're in the fourth line from the top. So it says over here, he says that Binyana Yibum, we learned in the book Sabbat Mishpatim in the Zohar HaKadosh. There's a part of the Zohar that's not written by Rabbi Shimon. I mean, it's not Rabbi Shimon's words. It's a rabbi called Rav Yeva Sava. Okay, it's actually buried right next to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. If you go to Meron, his grave, Rav Yeva Sava's grave is right there. Right across.
Same dome?
No, it's not in the same dome, but in the same mountain. That mountain was used for many, there was Rabbi Chana Sandlars over there, many Tanaim are buried there. So here right there, B'yana Yibum, when a person dies without kids and his brother marries his wife. Now, this guy, poor guy, he tried to get married. Right? He tried, he did his best, he just didn't have kids. So does the first body get up in Tchet HaMetim, says the Ari? So he says over here, the first body splits the parts of the soul with the second body. So even though the first body didn't have any kids, right? He does get up in Tchet HaMetim, but with what? He didn't have kids.
That's what?
Yeah, he doesn't. What?
That's what he did.
No, but since he doesn't, we learned when a person doesn't have kids, he doesn't wake up in Tchet HaMetim. Everything goes to the. But this guy, it wasn't his fault. He tried at least. He got married.
It's like
right?
a man that gets married and doesn't have kids.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. So it's not fair. So he does get up with something. What does he get up with? He splits it with the second body. What does he take? Rak nitzotz prati shel hanefesh hahi v'hu oto hanitzotz deshavak be'intete bebi'ah rishona. When a person marries his wife, right? Guy marries, let's call him David. David marries Batsheva.
That was like Rachel to me.
I was gonna say Rachel first.
No, but it's because David,
But it makes
David
more
was
sense to
Bathsheba.
say
That's the
Bathsheba.
only reason I said it.
So David marries Batsheva, and when he marries Batsheva, let's say the optimal scenario is that she's a betula. Okay? At the moment that he goes inside the first time, not that he has to go in all the way or break the betulim. The fact that he went in even a little bit, just ha'ara, right? Ha'ara is biyah. Ha'ara, it means just the tip went in. Right? Even that's considered biyah, right? According to halacha, right? If a person does znut, when is he chayav? When he does ha'ara. Okay, not the whole thing. Okay? So once he's with his wife the first time, a part of his neshama, he leaves inside of her forever. Understand?
With the Goya also? Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. That's what happens with everybody.
Then even, let's say a couple that they get married and get divorced. It stays.
Oh, so what is a divorce called in the Torah? Sefer kritut. What does kritut mean? From the word karet, to rip. What are you really ripping? This piece away. Okay? And what kind of woman, it never goes away, it always stays there? A widow. That's why they say it's a sakana to marry a widow. Because that piece of her late husband is jealous, and he's there, and he could kill the new husband. And they have a whole tikkun about it. Not marry a widow.
But we allow for Yibum.
Yibum, yeah, Yibum is allowed. Oh, why does it allow for Yibum? Because the Torah says you have to do it.
Like
So the Torah is like protects the guy. Okay, a person is allowed to marry a widow. I'm just saying that piece that he leaves inside his wife. Now David doesn't have kids. He dies. His brother Shimon, he dies. His brother Shimon marries Batsheva. Now David is gonna get up in Tchat HaMetim with this part of his soul that he left inside his wife. That's it. All the mitzvot that he did, all the nefesh, ruach, neshama that he fixed, is gonna go to the second body, which is who? Shimon is gonna marry Batsheva, and they're gonna have a kid. That kid is gonna be really who? David. So David and, I don't know, let's call him Shaul, both split all the work that David did. But unfortunately, David only wakes up with this piece. That's what it says in the Zohar. Oto nitzotz, that's what it's called, a nitzotz. The shavak be'imtete bebi'a rishona. Okay? Now, even if a person gets divorced, chas v'shalom, it doesn't totally rip off that piece. So, let's say a guy tried to get married. We're going to learn, it's a whole hagdama on this. A guy tried to get married a couple of times, he gets married, divorce, married, divorce, married, divorce. He still has tchiyat emetim. But only those small rishimus, as they say, that he leaves inside each one of his ex-wives.
Even if he didn't have kids.
Even if he didn't have kids. Because he tried.
But if he had kids and he got divorced, it makes no difference to that.
If he has kids, Baruch Hashem. But he has to have one boy and one girl.
What's the whole reason why kids is like the ikar?
Yeah.
What's the whole basis?
It's a whole limud. We're going to get there, Baruch Hashem, one day. Shiur like 150. Okay. So that's nitzos is called oton nitzos de shavak bin. So therefore, when a person, that's why all the rabbis say when a person fights with his wife, it's like he's looking in the mirror, right? Your wife is like your mirror. Because it really is your mirror, because a part of you is inside of her. Okay? Now it happens in two stages. One, the first stage is when you put the ring on her finger, then you give her the or makif of that nitzotz. And the second stage happens when you do the ha'ara. When you go in the first time, and obviously the optimal situation is a bitula, non-optimal situation is a non-bitula, because she has all the nitzotz from the previous people she was with, you know. So and that's that piece that he leaves inside of her. The kids take them when she gives birth. They take them. She stops giving birth when she can't give any more of those. And if she gives away everything, she dies in childbirth. That's what happened to Rachel and Binyamin. That's why she called him Ben Oni. But Yaakov called him Binyamin because it was part of him. But why did Binyamin take everything from Rachel? Because Yosef was a very big neshama and he took a big chunk of it. You understand? There's a lot of secrets behind all of this. And most of the parts gonna get up who? The second body, Shaul. If he gets married and has kids, of course. And it says in the Zohar Parshat Chayei Sarah, the hinhu gofin, those bodies, barminan, de lo atzlachu, le'avu kelo havu, those bodies that didn't want to have children. It's as if they didn't live. It's as if they weren't, it's as if they didn't exist. Atzlachu, they weren't successful. In this case, successful means to have
progeny.
Yeah. V'davar ze matmi. But this is crazy. Ki en lecha adam Israel. There is no human being from the Jewish people. Sheino malem mitzvot kirimon, as the Gemara says at the end of Masechet Makot, I believe, Amar Rish Lakish, right? Every Jew, no matter what kind of rasha he is, he for sure has many mitzvot. So how you say he's not successful? Lama yidbatel bizman atechiyah? Why shouldn't he get up in Techiyat HaMetim? אבל רמז אל האמור כי הנה עיקר התענוג העתיד לבוא הוא לבחינת הרוח והנשמה. The main part, if you want to be successful in Olam Haba, we said that there's 5 parts to a soul: nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida, nar nechi, right? The main ta'anug, if you want to really enjoy yourself in Olam Haba, is only if you reach the ruach. But if you're stuck with a nefesh when you pass away, you're not going to enjoy Techiyat HaMetim so much.
And now what? They're all split?
If we're all split. I don't know. You need the person like the Ariya Kadosh to tell you what you are. I cannot tell you.
No, I'm not saying let's say the person's a nefesh now. But
Yeah.
he's the full nefesh because the ruach went somewhere else.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to learn, that many rabbis were very scared of that. That they would split and somebody else would take their ruach.
It doesn't really happen. People split today.
Of course. If you're not going to finish what you're supposed to do, you're going to split.
Right afterwards, you come back.
Yeah.
This
But
was-
not you're not coming back. Only a part of you comes back.
Her body not coming.
Is it possible to reach the ruch level without having like ruch hakodesh and stuff?
Yeah, I told you guys how to reach it
You
already.
can still be simple person but have ruch.
Yeah.
already. It's possible.
It depends how big your soul is.
So
Let's say you're a big-
Said once you get ruch, you're gonna automatically have different level. The ruch hakodesh will open up for the person.
No.
It's not right. It's not right.
Maybe neshama. Not ruach.
No.
If you want to get your ruach, you got to do mitzvot ma'asiyot. We already told you guys this, and learn Tanakh. I explained to you guys this many times before. Tikkun in Shar Gilgulim is not fixing Averot. What is it? It's doing mitzvot. More mitzvot. So when I tell you guys, come, chesed, help, this, that, the more chesed you do, the more mitzvot is very important to do. And there's also small mitzvot that you can do that you never do them in your life. And it's chaval, like kisui hadam, covering the blood after you slaughter. It's the easiest thing to do in the world.
It's a very rare thing too.
It's not. It's rare because you have to look for it, you know. But you know, if you hear of a person that's a shochet, says next time you do a shchita, come, I want to do kisui hadam. What is it? One bracha and you do the mitzvah d'oraita. Mila, for example, you have a baby boy. Why send somebody to be a shaliach? Take that knife, cut.
That's not the full milah.
Okay, that's the mitzvah though, to do the cut.
I did it twice.
You did it twice.
Kisui Adam.
Oh, kisui
I
hadam.
didn't know it was mitzvah. I thought it was some kind
But you said a bracha.
I said about
You said a bracha. Now, for example, there's another mitzvah that you can do very easily to give a loan to another Jew. I go to you, Gavriya. I say, give me $10. Could you get? You say, give me $10. Before you give me the $10, you can say, L'Shem Yechud, behold, I'm doing a mitzvah to loan money to another Jew.
Could you do
And then I do a mitzvah by paying you back on time. Midoraita. Then there's another mitzvah to loan on interest to a goy. If a goy tells you I need money, it's a mitzvah to tell him you have to give me instead of $10 back, $11 back.
Well, let's just meet you, and then he doesn't have to pay you back.
Yeah, mamash. Okay, another mitzvah that you can do very easily. If you see somebody that's holding a very, he has a lot of bags of shopping, right? Heavy load. Go to him and say, can I help take that load off of you? It's a midoraita. Next time somebody says, can you help me move? Say yes. Right? There's a lot of mitzvot that you can do that you guys don't realize that they're packed. I mean, there is mitzvot like petar hamor, this, that. Like, I wish you can do that.
Did you work on it?
There is in Israel a company that does it. We could all chip in for a donkey. And all of us get a mitzvah. To redeem a firstborn donkey.
Very obscure. So if you do it, odds are you might never.
Some mitzvot you'll never do.
Right.
Pidyon bin. You have to have
You're lucky.
You have to have a zechut. But it's not really lucky. You only do it if you missed it in the previous
So
Gilgulim.
the fact you had the opportunity, it's because you didn't have the opportunity before.
Exactly.
If you had it before and you get it
And you didn't do it, yeah. So Hashem does you a favor, He gives you that mitzvah.
So it means I did it.
Could be, yeah.
So that'd be how life is.
So obviously we were all here before, right? So that's how you get. Now the Ruach is mostly Divrei Torah, learning Torah, right? You gotta learn Torah. That's how you get you want to finish the Ruach. So back to this guy, the poor guy over here, David, who's only getting up with this. Not only doesn't he have a nefesh, he has a splinter of his nefesh. So what does it say over here? So that Guf HaRishon, that first guy, she'ein bo afilu nefesh shlema, he doesn't even have a full soul. Forget about the soul, he doesn't even have a full nefesh. Rak nitzotz prati, only a small spark that he gave to his wife. Nimtza ki en lo ta'anug in tchiat hametim. Look how scary this is. He doesn't enjoy himself.
What does he do? Just walks around? What does it mean?
I don't know what he's gonna do. I wish him luck, but it says here he has no ta'anug. Uba'erech kelo aveh. It says even if he'll wake up in tchiat hametim, it's as if he's not there. Because it'll be just like every ordinary day for him. It's like it says by Vayikra el Moshe, when God called out to Moses, Moses heard, and it was the same voice that he spoke in Har Sinai. But nobody heard it, only Moshe used to hear it. Yeah, it's Rashi. So could you imagine? So imagine you're walking around Tchiat HaMetim, everyone is b'ta'anug, well, the guys who reached, and this guy who, so, אבל עם כל זה, הגוף הראשון זכה לתקן כל נפש, אלא שחר חזר ופגם בה. But let's say, different case. Let's say we have a guy, let's call him, Reuven. Okay? Reuven, he fixed all of his nefesh. He got his nefesh. He got it. He fixed it. אלא שאחר כך חזר ופגם בה, but then he made averot. He did averot. He did sins. He made a pagam. כאשר חוזרת להתגלגל הנפש ההיא עם הרוח והנשמה בגוף השני, When he comes back in the Gilgul, his nefesh comes back with the ruach and the neshama in the second body. Hem mitgalgelim beitchabrut nitzotz nefesh acheret kedei shetesayim b'mitzvot. Now let's say like this. Let's say Reuben had his nefesh. He had a nefesh. This is going to be a very scary thing right now because this is most of the people today. Person had a nefesh.
Everyone has a nefesh.
Yeah. Then he had his ruach. Let's say he had his neshama. He got it, but then he made averot with him, like Yerovam ben Navat. He reached nefesh. He reached neshama, and then he became a kofer. Now he has no chilek olam haba. I'm just giving you an example. Let's take the Mashiach Sheker for example. Shabtai Tzvi. He also reached his neshama. That's when he broke, right? So a person, I'm not talking about such a big aver. I'm talking about a guy. He missed shaharit. He missed tefillin. I don't know. The bitul Torah. He, I don't know. Chilul Shabbat, he didn't realize, turn on the light, this, that. These are, small pegams. Now he has to come back in a Gilgul to fix them, no? Now he comes back with all these parts. Reuven comes back into who? Shimon. When Shimon has the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama, that's one soul, right? That's one soul. God sends them a helper, not an ibur. This is a helper that's mamash with Reuven the whole time that Shimon is alive. Okay? That's called a Gilgul Kaful. So you're really two people. Why does God send you the second soul? To help you.
What's in it for the second soul?
So we're gonna learn. And one of the rabbis who had that second soul was Rav Sheshet. In the Gemara, Rav Sheshet. Rav Sheshet was a Gilgul Kaful. He was the second soul. He wasn't the main one. The main one was Baba ben Buta. Baba ben Buta was the Talmidei Beit Shammai. He was one of the biggest tzaddikim. Every day of his life, he used to bring a Korban Hasham Talui. He was such a big tzaddik. And every day, and if it wasn't for him, the halacha wouldn't be like Beit Hillel. He was a student of Beit Shammai, and he made sure the Beit Shammai is paskin like Beit Hillel. Yeah, he was such a big tzaddik, and the famous story of Hordus poked out his eyes and he killed all the rabbis except for him, and he was the one who told Hordus, rebuild the Beit HaMikdash, renovate the Beit HaMikdash, and he did that. So he wasn't just a giant, he was a huge giant. So but before we're going to get to that story, this is called a Gilgul Kaful, when there's two souls in one body. But they're both there, not the second one is an Ibur, it's an actual Gilgul. I'm not talking about schizophrenia and all that kind of stuff. That's the Gilgul Kaful of Mitzata. That's a Ibur. It's not a Gilgul Kaful. That's when evil souls go inside a person. Yeah, like a dibuk. Okay. ואחר כך בעת התחייה חוזרים הנרן בגוף הראשון ובגוף השני זוכה אל ניצוץ של נפש האחרת שבא עמו. Now what happens in תחיית מתים? A guy who has two souls inside of him. Shimon has Reuven's soul and he has his own soul. Let's call the second one Shimon, right? So Reuven and Shimon are both in the body of Shimon. In Tchiyat HaMetim, the Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama go back to Reuven. He gets everything back. And Shimon is only going to get up with the second soul. Just to repeat that? Does that make sense? Should I say it again?
Whatever you worked.
Yeah. So, let's do a nice diagram over here.
So Reuven comes down. He fixes.
We got two guys. Yeah. Reuven was born. He fixed his nefesh, ruach, neshama, let's say, but he did averot. Okay? He did averot. He has to come back to this world to suffer. Like a cleaning agency. Dry cleaning. He comes back in a guy called Shimon. Inside of Shimon is Reuven. Reuven is inside of him, plus Shimon's own soul. Shimon is his own human being. He's his own neshama. Who's the main guy?
Yeah.
The main guy is Shimon.
So Reuven has saying no matter what Shimon does?
No.
He's just a passenger.
He's a passenger that's there to stay.
Can he feel his own soul?
Huh? Like there were rabbis who knew that they were two people.
I'm saying, can you feel the other soul that they're the same people?
Yeah, I mean when they get into Tchiyat HaMetim.
No, when they pass each other in this world.
No.
They're the same body.
They're the same body.
That's a good point. What happens to Tchat Metim? They don't get up together.
So on Tchat Metim, Reuven gets all his parts back, and Shimon gets up with who he
This
was.
is Shimon.
Yeah, just with Shimon.
Do they talk to each other in the same body?
No,
They merge.
he's just
basically.
they merge. They become like one person, and when it comes to Tchat Metim, they split again.
No, so Rav Sheshet used to just turn on, the other one used to fall asleep, and the other was...
What do you mean? No, let's read. Let's gonna say now.
Merge.
Two Tanaim were in one body,
They
no?
merge. It becomes one unison.
So it says over here, what's one example?
Sometimes the quotes Rav Sheshet, sometimes it quotes the other one.
It says over here that Rav Sheshet, Ma'amar Rav Sheshet, that he used to say, Chadai nafshi, Chadai nafshi. He used to say, blesses my soul, blesses my nefesh, for you I learn, for you I do. So the Ari says, what does that mean? Blesses my soul, for you I do, for you. Who, if you're not doing it for you, who are you doing it for? Because inside of him was also Baba Ben Buta. But Baba Ben Buta, all of Rav Sheshet's hard work goes to who? Goes to himself. You understand? He gets whatever he works for himself. Baba Ben Buta is getting fixed on the way.
But he gets some of the knowledge or whatever of Sheshet.
No, he doesn't get the knowledge of Ben Buta. It doesn't work like that.
No, in terms.
Rav Sheshet was a big guy, right? He was a Talmid of Rav. He knew all the Braitot, Mishnayot, everything by heart.
He gets his actual.
And what's weird, Rav Sheshet was blind.
Okay.
Because Baba Ben Buta, when he was alive, Hurdus poked out his eyes. So it's kind of like the same ailment that he had,
Affected him.
yet like spiritually affected Rav Sheshet too. He also became blind.
So they didn't live in the same generation.
No, Baba Ben Buta was in the time of the Beit HaMikdash. Rav Sheshet was an Amora. Okay? So it's over here. They have to know, when a person does so much work and he gets his nefesh, his ruach, his neshama, then he does averot. When he comes back in a Gilgul, it's almost impossible that the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama will come all together. We already learned that, right? Many times. Because God is not going to cause them all to get, the pagam again, all the averot, huh? They come split. The nefesh gets fixed, then it goes up, you need bi'adcha avkid ruchi, then the ruach comes down with nefesh hager, then you got to fix the ruach, then you have to say again bi'adcha avkid ruchi, or else the person dies in his sleep. But how come we said in this case, Reuven's nefesh, ruach, and neshama all came back in who? In Shimon, as a gilgul kaful. How come in this case they were able to all come back? Then explain right now. When the nefesh comes back in a second body to get fixed, when the nefesh, let's say another case, we get Reuven again. Reuven had nefesh, ruach, neshama, he did averot. X is his averot. When he comes back in a gilgul as Shimon, only the nefesh goes inside Shimon. Only the nefesh goes inside. Then the nefesh, the ruach doesn't come inside with the nefesh. Why? Because how could the ruach that's fixed go on the nefesh that's dirty? So what does Hashem do? He only brings back the nefesh, and if the guy wants to get his ruach, he has to say beyatcha avkid ruchi before he goes. But then he loses his nefesh. Then he gets nefesh hager, and the process continues. So what happens to the ruach? It comes with a soul of a ger. Why are you laughing?
Can I ask you a question on this?
Yeah.
It's absorbing.
But when the person, let's say in that situation, loses the nefesh, right, and he gets a new ruach and a new nefesh. Technically the old ruach and then new nefesh. Does this personality everything change also?
If a person just gets his ruach,
No. He fixes the nefesh.
yeah.
But he gets a nefesh again.
Now you get nefesh
He gets
again.
ruach.
No,
Is
he stays because your memories download into the ruach.
But he's still, his personality should be somewhat different. Or you have better clean out. No, technically.
Not necessarily, no, because you stay with the same memories. You are who your memories are. You understand? For example, we're going to learn something scary. People, they die and come back to life.
Yeah.
The same person doesn't always come back. We're going to learn that sometimes a person dies
Somebody else comes and takes
and
his
somebody comes back and takes his spot. But he still acts the same way. He still remembers his wife because the memories, the Ari say, still stay inside the brain. So the ruach comes and it downloads inside of him. Same thing over here. Whatever the case, in the case, or a person goes into epileptic shock. The Ari says that's why
If it's a different person, then that different person, where is he coming from? Who is he?
he comes from Gehenom.
Okay, so then he has his own memory storage.
Yeah, but it doesn't come into fruition. He only remembers what the body allows him to remember.
So he just remembers his new life.
It's like a person is born. You don't remember your last
He
Gilgul.
acquires the other guy's wife, he acquires the other guy's
Yeah.
So, who gets up?
That's a very good question.
Nobody.
No. This could be
It's
all
happening to us every single day.
Hmm?
This exact thing could be happening to every one of us every day then.
Yeah.
I say only if you go to like.
That's great.
No, not every day. Saying like if you have
No, but in
a near
theory-
life experience.
Yeah, like a near-death experience.
Not when you go to sleep or something?
No, when you go to sleep, Hashem, don't worry, He's not going to do it to you. Yeah, so in but that's your own ruach, your last ruach that you messed up on, then he comes back. Okay? Don't forget, if you're a Talmid Chacham now, or you learn Torah right now, in your previous Gilul, for sure you were a Talmid Chacham.
Really?
You need a little
Because you're only a splinter of your old self. So if you right now like to learn Torah and you go to shul, imagine who you were back then.
Wait, if we're
So he must have fixed much more than you.
We're learning Shar Gilgulim and we enjoy it. Does that mean we're still learning Shar Gilgulim?
It must be that you guys were a big Talmidei Chachamim, yeah.
Or you were deficient in it. That's the only thing you need to fix.
That's also true. Because we also come back to learn whatever we missed. Yeah.
Deficient.
And now rabbis also come back to that.
Yeah, sometimes the rabbis come because of the students.
Yeah.
There is a Ba'al Neshama V'Guach Halev. That's the same thing with the Neshama. And that's what it means. The Pagei Nishmatin B'Nefshei D'Yorei V'Zachu Ba Ki Aruch L'Avdoi V'Mashon Nevadam Einam Yochlim T'labesh B'Guf Echad Elel Al Derech Nefesh K'Ken Lochlim T'Morta Et Nefesh Hager. So we learned many times the Ruach and the Neshama can never come alone in a body. It has to come with a base. And usually that base is what? The soul of a ger. Okay? Now, it's a double-edged sword, as we learned many times, because that soul of a ger, either it will ruin the ruach and the neshama, or either the ruach and the neshama will conquer the nefesh hager, and once it does that, that nefesh hager is ready to go inside a goy and turn him into a Jew. He'll get an awakeness to be a Jew. If he's zacha, obviously. Oh, and here's a very interesting part, where let's read it. Now you're going to understand a very crazy question that you're going to see in our work. He says, Kirov b'nei adam, most people that live, einam zochim rak lanefesh. They only zoche halavai to fix their nefesh.
That's pretty obvious.
So he says that should be impossible. Welcome, how are you? We're going to start soon, okay? He says that person is only zochet to his nefesh. How is that possible? According to what we've been learning all this time, you have to have a ruach. A guy is a ruach, a guy is a neshama, a guy is a this, guy is that. How is he only zochet to his nefesh? Right? How come the Ari always says that most people only get their nefesh?
Most people are balavatim, they're not exactly sitting with
Okay, but he's a splinter of his old self. He's supposed to, somebody already worked on his nefesh. Or else, how is he coming back in a gigul? Maybe he's a ruach, and maybe he's a neshama. Understand? So he says over here, "Me'utim hem bedorotenu." Very few in our generation, ha'achronim, especially the later generation, she'yisku leruach and neshama, that will have the zechut to reach a ruach and a neshama. There are very few of those. Most get the nefesh. V'arei noda ki en ben David ba, and the problem is King David will not come until the ruach and neshama will get fixed. So we have a big issue, because the nefesh, everybody is with the nefesh, and only few get ruach and neshama, and Mashiach is not coming until everything is fixed. So what do we do? For that, we're going to continue next week. Amen. Amen.
I do want to mention on the thing. There was that movie with Chris Rock, you remember, Down to